Uh, Hello, it's me again. So in this game, we are the Tomb Kings, and my opponent is Wood Elves. So I kind of like the Orion pick because you always expect Cetra on the Sphinx now, and he can kind of harass them. But this is kind of a wild build. He's got like Blade Singers, War Dancers are, they're pretty normal, but like triple Blade Singers, which I guess they'll like annihilate my infantry, sure, but they're very expensive. And he got the Hawkeyes of Drakira, which, yeah, if you can shoot Cetra a little bit, that's great, but I think Tomb Kings have enough range that they can kind of like counter the Hawkeyes, so I don't think they're great. And yeah, Orion is coming in. I'm sure he's got the healing ability, which, what is it called? The Cloak of Isha, which makes him very tough to actually snipe, so I'm gonna just try to ignore him. I mean, the Hawkeyes are annihilating my horse archers, that is true, but at the same time, he is slightly revealing himself, so my Ushapti Greatbow can shoot it. I also summoned a Screaming Skull Catapult to shoot it as well. And I'm gonna push my horse skeletons in just so I can see him, so that my Ushapti and my Screaming Skull can get in range and fire. Because if we can like shoot them to death before they do too much, and they're like pretty expensive. And yeah, he's trying to use his like abilities to get my horse skeleton archers. Yep, he used the little like Searing Doom and now the wolves. We're doing a lot of damage to his Hawkeyes. He brought the Blade Singers in, and I did notice that he had Blade Singers, so we do have like 2 regular skeleton archers shooting things as well. And he is pushing this side, which, you know, this is mostly just very weak infantry, so that isn't the worst idea, but yeah, I'm even using like, what is it, Usarian's Incantation of Vengeance, and I'm shooting them, so they didn't really get to do much. They're like probably over 1500, I think, and they're not doing that much. And this is the issue. Blade Singers, yes, they will annihilate my infantry, but he's getting attacked by Cetra. The Blade Singers here are getting shot by my skeleton archers and my horse archers. He is trying to send a lot of things in to like stop my Ushapti and my Screaming Skull catapults, but since I can see that he's sending a billion things in, I'll also send my skeleton horsemen in and kind of stop him from like pushing in. I even got skeleton chariots just to have mass to stop anything from like coming in as well. And yeah, the Blade Singers are getting annihilated by the archers, so they're like trying to push into my skeletons. I'm trying to just make sure that they route quickly, get the horsemen archers to just stop them. And yeah, Cetra just trying to bounce around and like route these horse archers quickly before they can do too much damage. And yeah, he's just sending things to try and stop my catapult not being able to do that. Orion is just kind of, I think Orion does go after my Ushapti at some point. Yeah, I think it's here. He's got the Foe Seeker. He's coming after my Chosen of the Gods. They're gonna have to run pretty much the entire game now, but it's mostly fine. He did manage to get my main point, but this entire like area and him just sending a lot of cavalry in is just kind of bleeding him money. As you can see, we got 6,000 value. He's got around 3,000, and we're just trapping all of his Glade Guards before they can get to any of my ranged assets. And Orion now chasing after the Ushapti, but remember, Orion is pretty expensive. And he is chasing a pretty strong unit, sure, but like, I got this giant blob of things coming in. My Cetra is just running around. He's like uncontested right now. There's nothing threatening him. And now I'm just trying to send like, it's chariots to kill the Blade Singers and stuff like that. My Screaming Skull is just trying to route these things off as quick as possible. My archers are kind of running away from the War Dancers. And yeah, here comes more chariots because Blade Singers, although they're strong, chariots will kind of annihilate them. So that's kind of the idea. I think this is the Ushapti summon just to kill the War Dancers and the Blade Singers. And yeah, the chariots just trying their best to stop the Glade Riders from getting to any of my backlines. Orion's still chasing my Ushapti. My Ushapti, they get kind of killed pretty early. Like, you can see, they're pretty low, but because they managed to shoot at the Hawkeyes of Drakira pretty early, they got a lot of value already. We're just gonna try to get this point back. We have some archers still alive. Archers are really good against Wood Elves. The Wood Elves need to dive the archers very heavily, but They could also just bring like their own archers to wreck the Tomb Kings as well, but he decided to go for the Blade Singers. Here comes the War Dancers. I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't want to deal with the War Dancers. I unequip my artillery, send the Nekara Warriors in. I think the Nekara would lose, but they're kind of low on HP too, so that's kind of an even trade, and I can summon reinforcements there too. We're just routing all of his Glade Guard, like all these Glade Guard. He summoned a lot of Glade Guard. I think some of them got their value, but we're just routing them to the side. Like you can see, like the Archer Glade Guard got routed there. These Glade Guards are gonna get like routed to the side. So I think I even got more value because they're like routing off pretty quickly. I'm probably at like 9,500 maybe. We're sending our Mobility Corps to just threaten this cap so that he has to like quickly respond. And he's sending some Blade Singers back, so I'm like, okay, he's got like a horseman, another horseman, and like another horseman coming in. Just send these guys back. I don't want to get trapped up too much. Sending some Skeleton Warriors for more cap weight. Archers are gonna just try to get some value as well. They didn't do bad. Cetra just coming into, I think, yeah, we might use spells on these guys or on some of the horses, whatever. But yeah, you can see the War Dancers coming after my Screaming Skull are now gone, and I'm immediately gonna send them back to equip it. And we're sending Nekara Warrior and Skeleton Horseman for the cap weight. We're annihilating these Blade Dancers pretty easily. Chariots are coming in to just kind of muck these guys around. Skeleton Archer's gonna get wrecked now, but that's mostly fine, I think. He's sending some Dryads in, but now that our catapult is back, we can just keep shooting. Yeah, now Orion is, I think, trying to go after Cetra again, or maybe going after the Skeleton Chariots, either or, but he's basically too behind to really be doing too much. Yeah, and I'm gonna summon, I think, the Kepra Guard at some point? I don't know. I guess not yet. Anyway, yeah, these Skeleton Archers are slowly crumbling. The Glade Riders are managing to go around and do some stuff, but not a lot. And we're gonna basically try to cap this point while routing all of his cavalry. And you can see we still have a higher point. Orion is there, the Glade Riders are basically gonna die. And the Dryads are coming in to start to pressure my the middle point, but as I said, we're gonna just slowly and surely get some cap weight up there. We have this cap weight on secure basically. My opponent lost all their Blade Singers and stuff like that pretty quickly. Yeah, these Blade Singers, like you can see, they're like, I think 1,200 gold cost, and they only got about 500 in their last life. So even though they got summoned again, we're just gonna run them over with chariots again. So not that big of an issue for me. And yeah, you can see a lot of Glade Riders getting leadership bombed by the artillery and also getting terror-routed by Cetra. We are basically just avoiding Orion the entire game. He's getting some good value because he got to do some melee with some of the chariots, and he's like got a lot of ammo, so he's shooting at these you can see that chariot exploded, I think. Oh, it's either crumbling or Orion is like shooting his little spears in. But yeah, we definitely got the middle point. We still have the side point, and we got a big old blockade on our main point. Yeah, see, he fired a shot and is annihilating my skeleton chariots, but it's mostly okay. And yeah, these horsemen, Glade Riders, I want to make sure that they break before they can like potentially come back and like attack my Screaming Skulls. And once I secure basically all of this, I can just keep sending things into the middle to make sure I don't lose that cap. And I can just threaten these Blade Singers with more spells and try to keep this as long as possible. And yeah, Orion has been chasing the entire game, but that's kind of the issue. I think Orion could be a little bit faster, honestly. Yeah, even with Foe Seeker, he was using Foe Seeker, but like even then, he has been having issues chasing things around, and he's supposed to be like essentially a demigod. I feel like he could be a little bit stronger, like, you know, balance-wise. And yeah, you can see Screaming Skull catapults attacking Dryads. I'm like routing my Nekara Warriors a bit so that I can get a few shots in before I go in. Orion is just annihilating everything, so I'm just like, okay, maybe I just abandon that point after all, and I'm just gonna send all my guys back, send even more stuff to my back point. Here are the Kepra Guard. They're gonna make sure that the middle point is secure, and Orion is going to chase Cetra again, while Cetra just jukes around and routes all the infantry. And you can kind of see where this is going. I'm going to do a little bit of a Helm's Deep. I also got a lot of points here. My opponent is summoning a lot of horses again. I feel like he summoned so many horses this game. And I think that's bleeding him a lot of money. But he is slowly kind of coming back with the value. But you gotta remember that we have been healing as well. Oh yeah, actually. Has he not been using spells? Because I think when I was fighting him, I was wondering, okay, where is his caster? But I don't see any caster. I think he might have just not brought a caster. And yeah, Cetra just running around, just killing all these dryads, routing these dryads, the horsemen coming in to attack my units, but it's basically over, as you can see. So I think Orion wasn't a bad idea, but summoning so many Blade Singers that are not getting their value back and getting routed immediately. That was a second summon of a Blade Singer, but they just kind of die. Yeah, did he just not bring any casters? Oh, he didn't. Okay, that could be why I was kind of winning as well. He brought like absolutely no casters. Yeah, so Blade Singers, a lot of them have been summoned twice. They still didn't get their value back. So, yeah. The Blade Singers are way too squishy with like no armor. They're expensive. They're on the Wood Elf roster who are slightly expensive as well. And then, yeah, my Horse Archers, yeah, some of them got like 2,000 value because they were shooting at the Blade Singers the entire time. Some of them didn't do great, but pretty okay. Yeah, some Archers getting like 1,000 because of the Blade Singers. Yeah. I don't really know why he didn't bring a caster. I was kind of wondering that during the game too. Like, I didn't see any casters. But you definitely want to bring one because magic is very strong in the game. But still, a wild build. Very elite, very killy. Just, you know, oh yeah, and I guess he also summoned the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. Since they got 26 gold, I'm guessing I killed them very quickly or something. Or maybe he summoned them at the last minute or something like that. Yeah.